Today I want to tell you about my presentation, translation of official business documentation in grammar aspects. The relevance of this topic is quite interesting because almost every day we face the problem of distinguishing functional style in life. People often encounter the translation of documents. There are a number of grammatical transformations and a special technical terms that is not typical for a conversation style. The scientific novelty is that during the comprehensive comparative study of official and business documentation in English and Ukrainian, there was a noticeable difference between the translation of terms and the formation of construction and the approach of the translation of the sentence. The object of the research is translation transformation in the translation of official business text. The purpose of work is a comprehensive study of translation transformation, novelty, lexical and grammatical transformation as a way to achieve translation adequacy. Their classification and determination of the principles of the application in the process of translation of official business styles. Two specific goals determine the following practical tasks. To study the calculation of translation of material of an official and business nature, consider and analyze the specific of the use of lexical and grammatical transformation in modern translation studies, investigate the calculation of the use of lexical and grammatical transformation and the level of an English text of an official business style. Illustrate examples of text and the official business style of various types in order to adequately convey the content. Official business documents. Official business style is the largest of business documents, statements, autobiographies, orders, resolution agreements, laws, bills, questionnaires, recipes, etc. There is one of the oldest style. The scope of business style determinations is general industry. There are certain differences in official business text that serve social needs in a national, public, economic, and political life. Let's see classification of official business documents. The official and business sphere of companies' activities is most fully reflected in the documents. Documents is a documentation that establish information about the facts, events, phenomena of objective reality and mental activity of people. Documents are divided into types for different reasons. According to a place of drawing up the documents, divided according to the degree of publicity, according to the production phase, according to the author difference, by the technique of reproduction, and by the form documents, according to the content. There are about 60 types of government documents. According to their function purpose, they are divided into main groups. For example, personal, it's some application or power of attorney. Administrative and organization, it's some like a contract. Directive administrative, it's order. Business letter, it's question and proposal. And the last one is accountant and finances. In the condition of rapid growth of globalization, the intensity of international contracts is increasing, the main purpose of which is the exchange of knowledge, experience, and cooperation. As a result, functional style of business documentation and business expressing emerging, the official business style is aimed at use in diplomatic, administrative, legal, political, and many other of human activities. When choosing grammatical opposition in the translation process, it is important to take into account the main difference in the grammatical structure of the English and Ukrainian languages. For example, in many Central and Eastern European countries, as well as elsewhere in the world, compound those pairs. В багатьох країнах Центральної та Східної Європи, а також в інших місцях світу, посилюють цей страх. In this case, the translator neglected the plural form and translated those pairs through the singular form. Цей страх. Extensive of translations can adversely affect that quality of translation is adequacy and corresponds of the original text. Implementation of international agreements is carried out by near or more languages, and in this case, if necessary, official translation will be made as international documents important attribute of human activity, depending on documents type, communication task, and text material of the documents. Requires that one or another form of organization. The study showed that the most typical for international documents is the use of functional substitution when translation predicates a person empowered to act as temporary head of the consulate, особа уповноважена для тимчасового керівництва консульством. The grammatical transformation of distribution is used when the level of sentence complexity in the source languages is low than the required for the given context in the target language. Considering the commitment of the Paris to liberalize trade based on the principles, враховуючи зобов'язання сторін лібералізувати торгівлю на ринках. Grammatical transformation, additional or deduction. This type of transformation is one of the leading ones in the translation of international documents. We will illustrate its use with the following examples. The Constitution shall remain open for signatures in the archives of the government of the United Kingdom. Цей статут здається на зберігання до архіву уряду Сполученого Королівства, де він залишається відкритим для підписання. For the regulator and legal documentation, a permutation of components is typical, which is used the cases when the traditional of-fact sentence structure in the source languages and the translation languages don't match. A limitation for national areas of nuclear weapons and the means of their deleting. Виключення ядерної зброї та її застосування та засобів її доставки з національних арсеналів. Lexical transformation. Transcription and transliteration are the ways of the translating lexical until of their original by reproduction its forms using the letters of the large language. In a number of cases, the use of tracing method is accompanied by a change in the order of placing the elements that are being traced. Lexical semantic substitution is a way of translation lexical units of the original with the help of units of the translation languages. The methods, the meaning of which doesn't coincide with the values of the original units, but can be divided from them using certain types of logical transformation. So that's all. Thank you for your attention.